Obstacles on the path. Fear condemns, and love forgives. If we are to escape the bondage of illusions and recognize our true identity, we must overcome the obstacles that keep us from awakening. Anger and attack, defensiveness and guilt, fear and judgment are among these. The Course suggests that we create these obstacles out of false beliefs of unworthiness, inadequacy, and vulnerability. To relinquish them, we must be willing to examine both obstacles and beliefs in the light of clear awareness, through which their illusory nature can be recognized. Only then can we experience the joy which is our natural condition. Pain. Pain is a sign illusions reign in place of truth. Pain is a wrong perspective. When it is experienced in any form, it is a proof of self-deception. It is not a fact at all. There is no form it takes that will not disappear if seen aright. Nothing can hurt you unless you give it the power to do so. Pain is but the sign you have misunderstood yourself. Do you not see that all your misery comes from the strange belief that you are powerless? Seek not outside yourself, for all your pain comes simply from a futile search for what you want, insisting where it must be found. Look about the world and see the suffering there. Is not your heart willing to bring your weary brothers rest? They must await your own release. They stay in chains till you are free. Pain is the ransom you have gladly paid not to be free. It is your thoughts alone that cause you pain. Nothing external to your mind can hurt or injure you in any way. There is no cause beyond yourself that can reach down and bring oppression. No one but yourself affects you. There is nothing in the world that has the power to make you ill or sad or weak or frail. But it is you who have the power to dominate all things you see by merely recognizing what you are. I can elect to change all thoughts that hurt. Guilt. Love and guilt cannot coexist, and to accept one is to deny the other. While you feel guilty, your ego is in command, because only the ego can experience guilt. Guilt is always disruptive. Guilt is the result of attack. The end of guilt will never come as long as you believe there is a reason for it. For you must learn that guilt is always totally insane and has no reason. Release from guilt as you would be released. There is no other way to look within and see the light of love. Guilt asks for punishment, and its request is granted, not in truth, but in the world of shadows and illusions. The guiltless mind cannot suffer. All salvation is escape from guilt. Only my condemnation injures me. Only my own forgiveness sets me free. Fear. Fear is not justified in any form. There is nothing to fear. This simply states a fact. It is not a fact to those who believe in illusions, but illusions are not facts. In truth, there is nothing to fear. Fear lies not in reality, but in the minds of children who do not understand reality. Only your mind can produce fear. Attempting the mastery of fear is useless. In fact, it asserts the power of fear by the very assumption that it need be mastered. The true resolution rests entirely on mastery through love. The need to recognize fear and face it without disguise is a crucial step in the undoing of the ego. Fear itself is an appeal for help. This is what recognizing fear really means. Fear and attack are inevitably associated. If only attack produces fear, and if you see attack as the call for help that it is, the unreality of fear must dawn on you. For fear is a call for love. Look at what you are afraid of. Only the anticipation will frighten you. Under each cornerstone of fear, on which you have erected your insane system of belief, the truth lies hidden. Where fear has gone, there love must come, because there are but these alternatives. Where one appears, the other disappears, and which you share becomes the only one you have. Without anxiety, the mind is wholly kind. How deceived was I to think that what I feared was in the world instead of in my mind. Anger and attack. Every loving thought is true. Everything else is an appeal for healing and help, regardless of the form it takes. Can anyone be justified in responding with anger to a brother's plea for help? No response can be appropriate except the willingness to give it to him. For this, and only this, is what he is asking for. To the extent to which you value guilt, to that extent will you perceive a world in which attack is justified. To the extent to which you recognize that guilt is meaningless, to that extent you will perceive attack cannot be justified. All anger is nothing more than an attempt to make someone feel guilty. Those who attack do not know they are blessed. They attack because they believe they are deprived. Give, therefore, of your abundance, and teach your brothers theirs. Do not share their illusions of scarcity, or you will perceive yourself as lacking. If you attack error in another, you will hurt yourself. You cannot know your brother when you attack him. You will fear what you attack. Safety is the complete relinquishment of attack. Because your attack thoughts will be projected, you will fear attack. And if you fear attack, you must believe that you are not invulnerable. Attack thoughts therefore make you vulnerable in your own mind, which is where the attack thoughts are. Anger is never justified. Attack has no foundation. It is here escape from fear begins and will be made complete. Here is the real world given in exchange for dreams of terror. For it is on this forgiveness rests, and is but natural. Judgment. The choice to judge rather than to know is the cause of the loss of peace. You have no idea of the tremendous release and deep peace that comes from meeting yourself and your brothers totally without judgment. Judgment always imprisons, because it separates segments of reality by the unstable scales of desire. You who would judge reality cannot see it, for whenever judgment enters, reality has slipped away. No one who loves can judge, and what he sees is free of condemnation. Comparison must be an ego device, for love makes none. Specialness always makes comparisons. It is established by a lack seen in another, and maintained by searching for and keeping clear in sight all lacks it can perceive. Learn this, and learn it well. For it is here delay of happiness is shortened by a span of time you cannot realize. You never hate your brother for his sins, but only for your own. Judgment was made to be a weapon used against the truth. It separates what it is being used against, and sets it off as if it were a thing apart. And then it makes of it what you would have it be. It judges what it cannot understand, because it cannot see totality, and therefore judges falsely. Wisdom is not judgment. It is the relinquishment of judgment. When I have forgiven myself and remembered who I am, I will bless everyone and everything I see. Defensiveness. When you feel the need arise to be defensive about anything, you have identified yourself with an illusion. It is not danger that comes when defenses are laid down. It is safety. It is peace. It is joy. And it is God. No one walks the world in armature, but must have terror striking at his heart. Defense is frightening. It stems from fear, increasing fear as each defense is made. You think it offers safety, yet it speaks of fear made real and terror justified. Defenses are but foolish guardians of mad illusions. Defenselessness is all that is required for the truth to dawn upon our minds with certainty. Let no defenses but your present trust direct the future, and this life becomes a meaningful encounter with the truth. Your defenses will not work, but you are not in danger. You have no need of them. Recognize this, and they will disappear. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Healing relationships. All healing involves replacing fear with love. Relationships offer unique opportunities for learning, healing, and awakening. The Course defines healing as to make whole, and offers a variety of approaches by which relationships based on fear and deficiency can be transformed into holy relationships, in which the obstacles to the awareness of love and wholeness are removed. It particularly emphasizes forgiveness of both ourselves and others as the means by which we can use relationships to let go of the past, with its burden of guilt and grievances, and to awaken to the present. Here we can establish true communication, experience love, recognize our true self in each other, and join in this shared identity. Practicing forgiveness. Ask not to be forgiven, for this has already been accomplished. Ask, rather, to learn how to forgive. Forgive the world, and you will understand that everything that God created cannot have an end, and nothing He did not create is real. In this one sentence is our Course explained. What could you want forgiveness cannot give? Do you want peace? Forgiveness offers it. Do you want happiness, a quiet mind, a certainty of purpose, and a sense of worth and beauty that transcends the world? Do you want care and safety, and the warmth of sure protection always? Do you want a quietness that cannot be disturbed, a gentleness that never can be hurt, a deep, abiding comfort, and a rest so perfect it can never be upset? All this forgiveness offers you. You who want peace can find it only by complete forgiveness. In complete forgiveness, in which you recognize that there is nothing to forgive, you are absolved completely. The real world is attained simply by the complete forgiveness of the old. Forgive the past and let it go, for it is gone. Lift up your eyes and look on one another in innocence born of complete forgiveness of each other's illusions. Those you do not forgive, you fear, and no one reaches love with fear beside him. Forgiveness always rests upon the one who offers it. Forgiveness takes away what stands between your brother and yourself. It is the wish that you be joined with him and not apart. Forgiveness is the answer to attack of any kind. So is attack deprived of its effects, and hate is answered in the name of love. Whom you forgive is given power to forgive you your illusions. By your gift of freedom is it given unto you. As you give, you will receive. Giving and receiving are the same. Illusions about yourself and the world are one. That is why all forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Forgiveness is the great need of this world, but that is because it is a world of illusions. Those who forgive are thus releasing themselves from illusions, while those who withhold forgiveness are binding themselves to them. He who would not forgive must judge, for he must justify his failure to forgive. But he who would forgive himself must learn to welcome truth exactly as it is. Forgiveness is the key to happiness. Here is the answer to your search for peace. Here is the key to meaning in a world that seems to make no sense. Here is the way to safety in apparent dangers that appear to threaten you at every turn and bring uncertainty to all your hopes of ever finding quietness and peace. Here are all questions answered. Here the end of all uncertainty ensured at last. I let forgiveness rest upon all things, for thus forgiveness will be given me. Teaching and learning. Listen silently and learn the truth of what you really want. No more than this will you be asked to learn. There is no need to learn through pain, and gentle lessons are acquired joyously and are remembered gladly. What gives you happiness you want to learn and not forget. On your learning depends the welfare of the world. Everyone teaches, and teaches all the time. This is a responsibility you inevitably assume the moment you accept any premise at all, and no one can organize his life without some thought system. Once you have developed a thought system of any kind, you live by it and teach it. The question is not whether you will teach, for in that there is no choice. The purpose of the course might be said to provide you with a means of choosing what you want to teach on the basis of what you want to learn. The course emphasizes that to teach is to learn, so that teacher and learner are the same. It also emphasizes that teaching is a constant process. Teaching and learning are your greatest strengths now, because they enable you to change your mind and help others to change theirs. Remember always that what you believe you will teach. As you teach, so will you learn. If that is true, and it is true indeed, do not forget that what you teach is teaching you. What you teach you strengthen in yourself because you are sharing it. You will not see the light until you offer it to all your brothers. As they take it from your hands, so will you recognize it as your own. Any situation must be to you a chance to teach others what you are and what they are to you. No more than that, but also never less. Teach no one that he is what you would not want to be. Your brother is the mirror in which you see the image of yourself. Everything you teach, you are learning. Teach only love, and learn that love is yours, and you are love. Teach only love, for that is what you are. Recognizing your brother. When you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat him, you will treat yourself. As you think of him, you will think of yourself. Never forget this, for in him you will find yourself or lose yourself. Everyone lives in you as you live in everyone. Only appreciation is an appropriate response to your brother. Gratitude is due him for both his loving thoughts and his appeals for help. For both are capable of bringing love into your awareness if you perceive them truly. Recognize all whom you see as brothers, because only equals are at peace. When you have seen your brothers as yourself, you will be released. It will be given you to see your brother's worth when all you want for him is peace. And what you want for him, you will receive. In truth, you and your brother stand together, with nothing in between. Christ stands before you both, each time you look upon your brother. Dream of your brother's kindnesses instead of dwelling in your dreams on his mistakes. Select his thoughtfulness to dream about instead of counting up the hurts he gave. Forgive him his illusions, and give thanks to him for all the helpfulness he gave. And do not brush aside his many gifts because he is not perfect in your dreams. You can overlook your brother's dreams. So perfectly can you forgive him his illusions, he becomes your savior from your dreams. It is not up to you to change your brother, but merely to accept him as he is. You will never know that you are co-creator with God until you learn that your brother is co-creator with you. Peace to my brother who is one with me. Let all the world be blessed with peace through us. Healing and wholeness. Every situation properly perceived becomes an opportunity to heal. All healing is essentially the release from fear. All healing is release from the past. You heal a brother by recognizing his worth. To love yourself is to heal yourself. God cannot be remembered alone. This is what you have forgotten. To perceive the healing of your brother as the healing of yourself is thus the way to remember God. Could you but realize for a single instant the power of healing that the reflection of God shining in you can bring to all the world, you could not wait to make the mirror of your mind clean to receive the image of the holiness that heals the world. We are made whole in our desire to make whole. If you wish only to be healed, you heal. Your single purpose makes this possible. Healing is the effect of minds that join, as sickness comes from minds that separate. Those who are healed become the instruments of healing. To forgive is to heal. Sickness is a defense against the truth. I will accept the truth of what I am, and let my mind be wholly healed today. I am here only to be truly helpful. I am here to represent him who sent me. I do not have to worry about what to say or what to do, because he who sent me will direct me. I am content to be wherever he wishes, knowing he goes there with me. I will be healed as I let him teach me to heal. The holy relationship. Those who have joined their brothers have detached themselves from their belief that their identity lies in the ego. A holy relationship is one in which you join with what is a part of you in truth. An unholy relationship is based on differences, where each one thinks the other has what he has not. A holy relationship starts from a different premise. Each one has looked within and seen no lack. Accepting his completion, he would extend it by joining with another, whole as himself. He sees no difference between these selves, for differences are only of the body. You cannot know your own perfection until you have honored all those who were created like you. When you have become willing to hide nothing, you will not only be willing to enter into communion, but will also understand peace and joy. The kingdom cannot be found alone, and you who are the kingdom cannot find yourself alone. There is no veil the love of God in us together cannot lift. When you accepted truth as the goal for your relationship, you became a giver of peace. No illusion can disturb the peace of a relationship that has become the means of peace. In your relationship is this world's light. Alone we can do nothing, but together our minds fuse into something whose power is far beyond the power of its separate parts. By not being separate, the mind of God is established in ours and as ours. This mind is invincible because it is undivided. You are one self with me, united with our Creator in this self. I honor you because of what I am and what He is, who loves us both as one. The peaceful alternative. Peace is the state where love abides and seeks to share itself. Only when the mind is at peace can it be freed of illusions and opened to the liberating influence of love, joy, and the memory of God that lie deep within us. In this experience, we regain our sanity, self, and salvation. Coming home. Would you not go through fear to love? For such the journey seems to be. It is a journey without distance to a goal that has never changed. You dwell not here, but in eternity. You travel but in dreams, while safe at home. There is no journey, but only an awakening. You are coming home together after a long and meaningless journey that you undertook apart and that led nowhere. You have found your brother, and you will light each other's ways. I will be still an instant and go home. Freedom. It is essential that you free yourself quickly, because you must emerge from the conflict if you are to bring peace to other minds. Hold no one prisoner. Release instead of bind, for thus are you made free. You are not free to give up freedom, but only to deny it. As long as a single slave remains to walk the earth, your release is not complete. Be free today, and carry freedom as your gift to those who still believe they are enslaved within a body. Be you free, so that the Holy Spirit can make use of your escape from bondage to set free the many who perceive themselves as bound and helpless and afraid. Let love replace their fears through you. I give you to the Holy Spirit as part of myself. I know that you will be released unless I want to use you to imprison myself. In the name of my freedom, I choose your release, because I recognize that we will be released together. Salvation. Changing concepts is salvation's task. Be glad indeed salvation asks so little, not so much. It asks for nothing in reality, and even in illusions it but asks forgiveness be the substitute for fear. Salvation is undoing. Salvation can be seen as nothing more than escape from concepts. Those who would let illusions be lifted from their minds are this world's saviors. Salvation comes from my one self. Love. Love will enter immediately into any mind that truly wants it, but it must want it truly. Your task is not to seek for love, but merely to seek and find all of the barriers within yourself that you have built against it. Love waits on welcome, not on time. When you want only love, you will see nothing else. If love is sharing, how can you find it except through itself? Offer it, and it will come to you, because it is drawn to itself. But offer attack, and love will remain hidden, for it can live only in peace. It is the nature of love to look only upon the truth, for there it sees itself. With love in you, you have no need except to extend it. You will not be able to give love welcome separately. You could no more know God alone than He knows you without your brother. But together, you could no more be unaware of love than love could know you not, or fail to recognize itself in you. Grace is acceptance of the love of God within a world of seeming hate and fear. Gratitude goes hand in hand with love, and where one is, the other must be found. Love without trust is impossible. Love would ask you to lay down all defense as merely foolish. No course whose purpose is to teach you to remember what you really are could fail to emphasize that there can never be a difference in what you really are and what love is. If you achieve the faintest glimmering of what love means today, you have advanced in distance without measure, and in time beyond the count of years to your release. See the love of God in you, and you will see it everywhere, because it is everywhere. Love, which created me, is what I am. Awakening to God. The memory of God can dawn only in a mind that chooses to remember, and that has relinquished the insane desire to control reality. You, who cannot even control yourself, should hardly aspire to control the universe. All that is needful is to train our minds to overlook all little senseless aims, and to remember that our goal is God. The recognition of God is the recognition of yourself. God dwells within. God's will for you is perfect happiness. The journey to God is merely the reawakening of the knowledge of where you are always and what you are forever. We practice but an ancient truth we knew before illusion seemed to claim the world. And we remind the world that it is free of all illusions every time we say, God is but love, and therefore so am I. The conditions of peace. Peace is inevitable to those who offer peace. Peace is an attribute in you. You cannot find it outside. When the wish for peace is genuine, the means for finding it is given in a form each mind that seeks for it in honesty can understand. Whatever form the lesson takes is planned for him in such a way that he cannot mistake it if his asking is sincere. But if he asks without sincerity, there is no form in which the lesson will meet with acceptance and be truly learned. I want the peace of God. To say these words is nothing, but to mean these words is everything. The mind which means that all it wants is peace must join with other minds, for that is how peace is obtained. The only way to have peace is to teach peace. Do you not think the world needs peace as much as you do? Do you not want to give it to the world as much as you want to receive it? For unless you do, you will not receive it. When you have accepted your mission to extend peace, you will find peace, for by making it manifest, you will see it. Remember that you came to bring the peace of God into the world. If peace is the condition of truth and sanity, and cannot be without them, where peace is, they must be. The memory of God comes to the quiet mind. It cannot come where there is conflict, for a mind at war against itself remembers not eternal gentleness. When the light comes at last into the mind given to contemplation, or when the goal is finally achieved by anyone, it always comes with just one happy realization: I need do nothing. Those who believe that peace can be defended and that attack is justified on its behalf cannot perceive it lies within them. Those who offer peace to everyone have found a home in heaven the world cannot destroy, for it is large enough to hold the world within its peace. No one who truly seeks the peace of God can fail to find it, for he merely asks that he deceive himself no longer by denying to himself what is God's will. Who can remain unsatisfied who asks for what he has already? The peace of God is shining in you now and in all living things. In quietness is it acknowledged universally. The peace of God is shining in me now. Let all things shine upon me in that peace, and let me bless them with the light in me. Light and joy. You are the light of the world. The light is in you. Darkness can cover it, but cannot put it out. Why wait for heaven? Those who seek the light are merely covering their eyes. The light is in them now. Enlightenment is but a recognition, not a change at all. There is no difference between love and joy. Joy has no cost. It is your sacred right. You can exchange all suffering for joy this very day. Practice in earnest, and the gift is yours. Forgiveness is my function as the light of the world. My brother, peace and joy I offer you, that I may have God's peace and joy as mine. A new beginning. There will come a time when images have all gone by, and you will see you know not what you are. It is to this unsealed and open mind that truth returns, unhindered and unbound. Where concepts of the self have been laid by is truth revealed exactly as it is. Let us be still an instant and forget all things we ever learned, all thoughts we had, and every preconception that we hold of what things mean and what their purpose is. Let us remember not our own ideas of what the world is for. We do not know. Let every image held of everyone be loosened from our minds and swept away. Be innocent of judgment, unaware of any thoughts of evil or of good that ever crossed your mind of anyone. Now do you know him not, but you are free to learn of him, and learn of him anew. Only be quiet. You will need no rule but this, to let your practicing today lift you above the thinking of the world and free your vision from the body's eyes. Only be still and listen. Simply do this. Be still and lay aside all thoughts of what you are and what God is, all concepts you have learned about the world, all images you hold about yourself. Empty your mind of everything it thinks is either true or false, or good or bad, of every thought it judges worthy, and all the ideas of which it is ashamed. Hold onto nothing. Do not bring with you one thought the past has taught, nor one belief you ever learned before from anything. Forget this world. Forget this course. And come with wholly empty hands unto your God.